Hey there, innovation champions. Melissa Dinwiddie here. Today, I want to tell you a story about how my art studio became a warehouse for UFOs. And no, not actually the alien kind. I'm talking about unfinished objects. You see, back when I was a professional artist, I had a problem. I would start a piece and things would be going great until they weren't. I would get to a point where I knew the piece needed something, but I would get paralyzed by perfectionism. I was so afraid of ruining what I'd already created that I would get stuck. It would just, that fear would just stop me dead in my tracks. So instead of taking action, I let all of these half finished pieces gather dust while I overthought every possible next move. Does that sound familiar to you? In today's tech world, actually out in the business world in general, I see the same pattern playing out in companies that are struggling to innovate. Teams get caught in analysis paralysis. They're endlessly refining ideas instead of testing them out in the real world. The solution that I eventually discovered in my art studio turns out to be exactly what innovative tech teams need. Actually, really all teams out there in the business world. So let me break it down for you using my Create the Impossible framework, which you will recognize if you have been watching any of my videos or following any of my newsletters or LinkedIn posts anywhere at all. So step one of my framework is play hard. And again, this is not go to Vegas and get drunk. This is get into the mind space of being a little kid again. When I finally broke free from perfectionist paralysis, it wasn't through, carefully planning. It was through embracing risk. I made a conscious decision to take the riskier path whenever I hit that fork in the road. And in fact, this became so fundamental to my creative process that take the riskier path is now guidepost number 7 in my book, The Creative Sandbox Way, which is based on the 10 guideposts that I developed to get myself out of creative stuck and into flow. So that's step number 1 in my Create the Impossible framework. Step number 2 is make crap. And yes, this approach led to some clunkers. But here's the fascinating part. Those ruined pieces often led to unexpected breakthroughs. They led to new techniques. They led to fresh perspectives. They led to solutions that I never would have discovered through careful planning. So that's step 2 of my Create the Impossible framework. Step 3 is learn fast. The real magic here is the speed of learning. By taking quick action, even risky action, I learned more in a few minutes than I would have with weeks of careful contemplation. There's no way I ever could have learned any of that through careful contemplation because I had to get my hands dirty in order to learn those lessons. And in tech innovation, this principle is more crucial than ever. And here's why. When we slow down to analyze every possibility, we actually reduce our creative capacity. And studies show that the analytical part of our brain can interfere with creative insights. This makes a lot of sense if you think about it. Think about the Wright brothers, who were the first to achieve sustained flight. Did they perfect their airplane design before taking their first flight? Of course not. They had a bazillion iterations to get there. Did Edison analyze the perfect filament before testing it in order to create a light bulb? Of course not. He's known for having a bazillion failures in his lab before he created anything that, really worked well. Innovation happens through action, not analysis. And in today's fast-paced tech world, perfect solutions delivered slowly are often worse than imperfect solutions delivered quickly. Why? Because quick action creates faster learning cycles. Now, this might sound counterintuitive, but consider this. Which team will innovate faster? So team A spends 6 months perfecting a plan. Team B runs 24 weekly experiments, many of which fail. Team B is going to win every single time because guess what? They have had 24 learning cycles while Team A is still planning. So let me share what I've discovered while working with tech teams. The ones that innovate most successfully aren't necessarily the smartest or the best resourced. They're the ones that are willing to share work in progress. They're willing to test rough prototypes and they're willing to take quick action. And this mirrors exactly what I learned in my art studio. The more willing I was to ruin a piece by taking action, the faster I learned and the more I ultimately created. So how can you apply this to your innovation challenges? Well, I've got, not surprisingly, if you've watched any of these videos, I like to give you practical strategies, and here are 3. The first one right above me is the 2-minute rule. Whenever you catch yourself overthinking, set a timer for 2 minutes and take any action going forward towards your goal. Any action, make it quick, make it messy, just make it happen. This is very much in alignment with guidepost number 5 in my book, The Creative Sandbox Way, just start. Second, I call the first draft share. So instead of waiting until something's perfect, share it when it's at 50%. Now label it explicitly as a rough draft for discussion. You're not, holding it up as a finished product, but you will be amazed at how this changes the quality of feedback you receive. And then third, I'm calling this the risk timer. So when you're facing a decision, give yourself just 30 seconds to choose. Literally set a timer. We've all got timers on our mobile devices these days. And if one option feels scarier, but potentially more rewarding, that is your cue to take the riskier path. Remember, here's my timer, and it's not a risk timer. Remember, innovation is not killed by bad ideas. It's killed by good ideas that never see the light of day because we thought about them too long. So here's your challenge for this week. What is one idea or project that you've been overthinking? And choose one of these 3 strategies and take action in the next 24 hours. I challenge you. So are you ready to break free from the overthinking trap? Click the link in the description to book a complimentary innovation strategy session with me. And let's explore how quick action and productive failure can transform your team's innovative potential. If you found this deep dive into overcoming analysis paralysis valuable, hit that like button and subscribe to join our community of innovation champions. Don't forget to ring that notification bell to learn more strategies for driving innovation in your organization. Until next time, stay curious, stay playful, and keep creating the impossible. See you next time. Ciao.